Good day, everybody. It is currently the 15th going into the 16th of January 2012, and that severe storm system that hit Japan yesterday, well, thankfully it is continuing to push off here towards the northeast. You can see that low pressure area just moving off the screen. Well, actually, pressure amidst the storm is now right around 940 HPA. Just a monster of a storm. And if you just took no other factors but pressure and compared it to the average pressure of a hurricane, this actually reaches upwards on the category 4 intensity on the Saffir-Simpson scale. So just a massive storm, but now it is continuing to grab cold air out of Siberia, bringing all sorts of sea effect snow there across portions of western Japan. We are seeing a low pressure area push through the Sea of Japan. That is going to be continuing to kick up the snowfall going through Wednesday. Actually, if we take a look at northern Honshu, western Hokkaido, that sea effect is viewable here currently on the radar imagery. You can just see that area is in blue continuing to push off here, and then that weak low pressure area coming in out of Korea, which that brought you some snowfall here going into your Tuesday, and now it's going to continue to push off there towards the east. But in the wake of the storm, my goodness, just heavy snowfall. And this is actually from the MT-SAT satellite imagery, high resolution, right around noon Japan Standard Time, and you can see the storm system continue to pull away from Japan, which is right in here. But this is zoomed in, and that is Tokyo, the Kanto area. You see Tokyo Bay there in the blue just at the tip of my pen. Well, all around that, just completely covered in white, and that is the snowfall on the ground. Actually, this is some video I shot yesterday, or Monday, of the heavy snowfall continuing to pound the area. This caused widespread traffic delays, even train delays. One of my coworkers took about 7 hours to get into work today because the highways were closed across Tokyo. And I know if you're not from the city, if you're from one of those cities up north, anywhere in the world that are used to these type of storm systems, you're probably thinking, well, basically suck it up. It's just a few centimeters of snow. Well, in Tokyo, not too used to it. There's no snow plows available, especially on the tight roads across the city. So that type of snow really does play a major factor. But now let's just take a look at the model outlook across Japan, but also Korea and China. One thing I want to bring in the focus on China is that we have that Siberian high continuing to push in from the north here. That is bringing in some cold air, but also clear skies throughout the overnight hours, and thus we are going to start to expect some widespread fog. I've been seeing this in many places here, but also that high pressure is going to act as a cap, and once you get that radiational cooling, especially in places like Beijing, that means the temperatures are going to start to warm with height and then cool with height. This is supposed to be an upper level diagram, by the way, lowering then cool, or rising then cooling temperatures. Well, what happens is that you get this capping inversion. So everywhere on the ground, if any factories start to pollute the air, that is my crude version of a factory, it all stays in these areas, and that's what we've been seeing around Beijing. And the problem is some very hazardous air has been continuing to take place. That system that I was mentioning a second ago that moved over Korea, well, that also moved over Beijing, cleared up the air. But next high pressure that comes in, this system is just going to set right back up, and that's going to be a major problem. So smog is going to be a problem, but also we're continuing to see the fact that the fog is going to be reducing visibility. So traveling across this area and even airport delays throughout the next several days. And then that same high pressure area, as it continues to dive down here towards the south, you're seeing some of the coldest temperatures in the Philippines and much of the Indochina Peninsula that you have seen yet this year. I've seen a lot of reports actually out of Luzon in the teens for the overnight hours, and I'm sure if you're there now, you're experiencing this. The problem is, I know many people off towards the north are also thinking that ain't too bad. Well, many places in the Philippines, you do not have insulation on your homes, so once it gets down into the single digits, it really cools off, and you're definitely feeling it here as those temperatures continue to drop off with that high pressure pushing down towards the south. Good news, it is going to weaken a little bit by next weekend, and then temperatures should start to rebound back up. This is actually going into Friday, then Saturday, and eventually into Sunday, temperatures start to rebound here across the Philippines. But if we go back into Wednesday, you can still see here into the low teens across much of Luzon. And another factor besides the cold temperatures is that cold air interacting with the warm moisture is across much of Borneo over towards Malaysia, Singapore. You've been seeing this thunderstorm activity flaring up with the intertropical convergence zone. Well, as that cold air pushes towards the south, it really hits this area, and that flares up the thunderstorms as well there into Visayas and around Mindanao. I actually saw some rain reports in southern Luzon in the past 24 hours. About 100 millimeters was recorded. those storms are going to continue to blow up as long as that cold air mass is there. So do not be surprised if you get caught up in one of these very strong thunderstorms there around Visayas. And they could even be kicking up some very gale force winds themselves. Good news, short time periods, but some localized powerful storms. And not to mention across portions of Borneo and even down towards Indonesia, you still have the typical monsoonal rains. But that is all for right now, everybody. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to check out our daily satellite analysis that's put out there if you want a quick shot and you don't want to watch this whole webcast every day. Also, you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Western Pacific Weather, or follow me at Robert Spetta. We just have continuous information 24 hours a day, trying our hardest to feed it out on there. And don't forget, you can donate to us. That's always a good help, or click one of the ads to help us keep the site running. So stay safe, though, everybody. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.